Hey, this is the SharmaG chat room. Today I'm super duper excited as this chat room is going to get a makeover because I have with me as my special celebrity check-in my favorite music guy from my favoritist place. I mean, you know that my all-time go-to place is Goa. Yes, it's the vibe, it's the beaches, it's the food, but most importantly because it has from A to Z W written in caps. W Goa. I mean, it's a wow, isn't it? Oh, that starts with W too. Really, the alphabet W for me means W Goa. Put your hands together for the music curator, the music guy at W Goa, Avo AKA Ayush. Ding 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 ding.
Hey, hi, how are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you. Welcome. My God, you're the guy who's always on stage, or you're the guy who's kind of making W, giving it a transformation almost on a daily basis. And now you're here with me. I just wish that you could have been playing some music. I could have had seven, eight, 10,000 people live right now. Free mein concert bhi ho jata. But really, I want to start off by asking you one question, and then we'll get into everything else. Apart from all the transformations that W has made to the world of Goa, one thing that personally stands out is the party scene, the music scene, and Rockpool, of course, is my favorite spot. Tell me, how do you go about, or how did you think about doing what you've done to W Goa in the music scene?
Okay, so first of all, thank you so much for that amazing introduction, and thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm super excited about the interview. And again, so coming back to the question, yeah, so Rockpool, when my first memory of Rockpool, when I visited the place, and I was in love with it. It's such a beautiful spot. It's by the beach, and it's actually a complete story of what Goa has to offer. As a guest, when you want to come to Goa, you want to see the sea, you want to see the sunset, you want to enjoy some amazing food and drinks, and you want to enjoy some great music. And Rockpool exactly serve that to everyone. And gradually, I mean, we have developed that place and made it into a massive venue and a go-to place for all the international DJs and performers who wants to come and perform at W Rockpool.
So I'll tell you what, I am obviously going to be kind of asking for a little bribe, which is that you need to send me your sets, because I will be playing that music on my radio station. I want to play it on my social media handle so that the world experiences Avo Ayush. Tell me about this journey, this Indori boy who's now taken over the world, and again, the world also has a W in it. So tell me about this journey.
Okay, so I mean, it's quite a very filmy journey, you can say. I was living in Indore, and Indore at that time was not really that advanced as it is now. And again, it's just a normal guy at home listening to some music and trying to just being curious and getting to know new stuff. And at the same time, when the internet boom happened, we just got an access and all the information and everything on your fingertips, right? So I just started doing some research and started listening to some English music, and then from gradually from listening to English music, then in 2007, Sunburn was announced in India, and that kind of just got me more curious about what exactly this electronic music scene is, what is this DJing, and what is this whole hype about. And I started just digging in and trying to find out some music. Initially, I couldn't really understand what it is until I saw it on platforms like YouTube. I started seeing some videos of the parties and events happening, and that's when I was just like, okay, this is what I need to do. So I just started my research. I started collecting music, and then I just bought my new laptop and I installed a DJ software called Virtual DJ. And to
Oh,
be honest, a lot of people has started their journey from that software. So it's kind of a very legendary software for a lot of Indian DJs, especially. So yeah, I just downloaded that as a game, as a fun thing, and I started putting in tracks and just followed those tutorials and I started mixing the track and I was awestruck, I was like, wow, what a beautiful way to listen to the music and make others also listen to it. And yeah, that's how it all started. Slowly, gradually, I was also doing my schooling and of course coming from a background where you are always what you call always told to get degrees and do something which the world tells you to do. And yeah, so I was just figuring out what to do. What I was trying to find my calling, and music has been always that thing for me, who has been giving me that support and all that. Music has been a very, very important part of me, my journey and my life, because whenever I was no matter happy, sad, or any emotion, music got my back. They had music had something to offer to me to just calm down that emotion and take it forward. So that's how I just started doing some research and gradually, and in 10th class, in my school time, I started playing music for all my friends and buddies. I started sharing some electronic music with them, and apparently I was that time was the guy who was given the aux cable. There's always a guy who you pass the aux cable to. I was like, bro, come on, let's play some music. So those car days when you're just driving around listening to some good music with your friends and making them also know about that amazing thing which you discovered. So it was an amazing feeling. Gradually learn professional DJing, and until 12th also I had no idea that I'm going to pursue it as a profession. But again, this just happened to me because at some side of my brain I was just manifesting it, maybe. And yeah, and I landed up in Goa. I decided, okay, music, food, and the best city to live in is Goa. So I ended up in Goa somehow with some college scam and everything. And yeah, now I'm here curating one of the hottest property of the country and performing at one of the major big festivals and parties, hanging out with all these artists, and it's just fun. It's just like for me, the time is just like running. It's just not passing; it's just running.
How does it feel? I mean, like you said, the music always got your back. High times, low times, all of that. There was music for you. And imagine today, the world has taken a 360-degree loop where you are providing that for so many people. I'm sure, if I was to kind of speak to the people who come to W Goa or your fans, they will say the same thing. Man, when I'm feeling high or when I'm feeling low, there is Ayush who kind of, helps me ease or helps me to get even higher or helps me, get myself sorted. How does it feel that you are the reason for what became your reason?
Oh yeah, so that's a really, really good question. So as I told you, so music always got my back. So I had like a majority, like a long thing of emotion, a lot of emotions I have felt as an artist, as a person, and so I was at the consumer end at that time. So I have experienced all those emotion, and I kind of figured out where what kind of music and what kind of reaction is happening with what kind of tracks. So that's what helped me become as a DJ. So what I do is I just have a look at the person and I just try to judge his taste and his emotion and then play accordingly. So this I'm doing simultaneously throughout the party when I'm playing. That's what makes it unique, and that's what makes it interesting for me as well, because always there are new people and there are different emotions, different body language people carry, different style people carry, and playing at W makes it more special because then you have people from all around the world. So this gives you a lot more exposure, and as an artist, it gives you more opportunities to explore new styles of music, new genres of music, new artists. So yeah, it's just a continuous process of discovering new things.
So who's your hero as a DJ when you started off? Like you said, who were the DJs that you looked up to then, and of course, who are your heroes now?
But I mean, it's kind of a very difficult question for a DJ to answer because as an artist, you just don't have one hero, but
But
you have like
okay, a
multiple.
couple of names.
But couple of names. I mean, to be honest, I really was admired by Avicii back then. The kind of music he was playing and the kind of life turning he had seen, that was one of the biggest inspiration I had. And then David Guetta also played a major role in educating, especially the Indian region, to by releasing some amazing tracks back then. Then a lot of artists, especially like for me, when I started researching on this, I found out that electronic music has been a part of Indian music scene from very long time. So like people like Bappi Lahiri and Charanjit Singh, they were all experimenting with electronic music, but then uh, we couldn't notice it because we were not aware about it. But now, when I listen to those tracks with 1990s with Bappi Da and all that, it just amuses me that how futuristic these guys were back then, and still, I mean, their music still sounds futuristic, and that's what
Yeah,
is the fun
considering we
part
didn't
about
have
it. Yeah,
access to a lot of technology that is available today, right? Like you said that there
exactly.
wasn't even internet for you to get songs. So imagine even if they had to be inspired, it would be a long journey for them to, access
Correct.
that music and then work on it and then create samplers. My God, it would have been a tough world, yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
if I was to put you into that world, yeah, and send you back in the 90s, early 90s, really, how would you have taken on that scene?
I mean, I was born in 1996, so I'm not really
Oh,
known about what was happening in 90s. But then when I spoke to all my seniors and all the DJ fraternities, they told me about how difficult it was to break it through, because back then India was not really open to such kind of concepts about going to a club and meeting people and partying and drinking and having fun. Back then it was completely different scenario. So
and
yeah,
then
I
tell
mean,
me, I mean, you're like what? You just given your age away to all your fans. 26, 26 single or 26 dating or 26 involved or casual or married?
I mean, you can say I'm single, but yeah, I'm committed to my work mostly. So I'm most of the time just like working, sitting on music, meeting new people, just having fun. So yeah, that's pretty much my
If
life in a
there was
nutshell
an
right
equivalent of
now.
Miss World, I think you won the Mr. World, yeah, by that answer. That was the answer. And my God, I can see on the screen, I mean, at least 2.2 more million women fans have been added to your list of fandom. So that's fantastic. But you know what?
Thank
I
you.
mean, going back to that phase, and I know that you grew up in the late 90s, but even then, in terms of international music, are there any artists or singers or songs that you absolutely love and that you can recall? Something that I can play for you.
So yeah, so back in the days, the fond memories I have is, remember, like back in the days we used to have those CDs when you used to go to those rental CD parlors and buy those pirated music
Yeah.
CDs which has a bunch of songs, and that's pretty much the options you had, right? So back then, I just my one of my friend got me this top 50 Billboard charts of 2004, 5 or something like that, and there were artists like Black Eyed Peas, Akon, and Michael Jackson and stuff like that. So that was my first encounter to electronic music or English music. And before that, I was just listening to all these Bollywood numbers and very interesting stuff back then as well in Bollywood. But yeah, that's my first fond memory from songs like Akon, Smack That, and
And
Daft Punk.
talking about new music, there's something called the Living Room Live, right? Which is a
Yeah.
showcase of artists from around the world. I mean, all around, especially Goa. Be it acoustic, be it electronic. Tell us a little more about this concept and how it's changing things again. The Living Room Live at W Goa.
All right. So Living Room Live, we started this recently in last year in the lockdown when when I saw a lot of artists were really sad, and they were not really had a lot of work, and they were just getting depressed basically, because they are used to gigging around in Goa. There's so many venues, so much of things happening, so they are always used to. And this lockdown kind of really hit them hard. So this was a small step for me, from me to the artist community, where I just got them a platform where they can just come, who doesn't have a big platform or a big name. So this particular IP is just focused on the upcoming new artists who are just making it through. So yeah, what we do is we curate all the weekends at W Goa at this venue called Woo Bar, which is the lobby bar, and it's a beautiful spot, nicely done, gives you a feel of that deck where you feel like you're sitting on a cruise deck, like a luxury cruise deck. That's how it's made. So what we do is we curate a bunch of local artists. We give them a slot times, and every evening from 4 o'clock onwards, we have them perform at our venue. Now, as a music curator, I give them all the freedom to play whatever they want. There's no restrictions. There's no like a fixed thing. So this gives them an opportunity to just explore and play and get used to that gigging model again. So this turned out really well with us in the lockdown. So we continued that in this season as well. We have got a bunch of interesting artists, mostly all locals, but we do a lot of international artists as well, because we get a lot of international musician who travels to Goa and stay here.
You're getting me all emotional now. I'm just kind of, I can't help but give a huge shout out to the entire team. Ajay, Konark, Kshitij. Well, I remembered because I enter the Woo Bar and Kshitij is standing there with all kinds of concoctions and drinks, and my better half and I, as GNR as we are known. My God, it's like a sometimes we love it, but we also dread what's going to happen to us, yeah, because bumping into Konark and Kshitij at the Woo Bar is a dangerous combination. And then of course Sorab and everyone else, and of course Tanveer. Really, he's such a gentleman, and he's just he's the guy, or he's the man, yeah, and he really turns things around. Always Mr. Cool, Mr. Calm. At least that's how we've seen him always, and always ready to party. Right? The rock at Goa. If that if the person behind it, is there, then that things are going right. Ajay, my God, the kind of things that he has to do. So really, a huge shout out to the entire team of W Goa. And everyone, and especially even the insiders, the W insiders were always there to help and to make sure that our stay is comfortable. Wow, it's fantastic to.
It's a beautiful team. I love working with everyone here. They're all cool guys. There's they're always innovating, and they're always up for something crazy. And we have had a lot of sleepless nights together. We have had a lot of big events, a lot of tough times, good times. So yeah, it's an overall a beautiful time working with all of them. And yeah, that's what I love about being at W Goa.
Yeah, I know. Shrija, Karthikeyan, Farhad, really a huge shout out going out to you guys too. But the other thing is the other IP that you've created, which is called Heatwave, yeah, and that's for the electronic artists from around the country, yeah. And again, it's really showcasing a new talent, and I'm loving the bit where it's about promoting local talent, promoting Indian talent, apart from, of course, showcasing the best from around the world. Tell me a little bit about Heatwave.
So yeah, Heatwave basically, as the name suggests, this is like a summer edition at Rockpool Sundowner. What we do is we get a guest DJ, again a local DJ who's who's making it through, killing it with his music, and we also have a bunch of talented resident DJs. So what we do is we have a beautiful sundowners. Sometimes we get some live musician to accompany these DJs, someone like a saxophonist or a djembe player, just to give that feel of Goa and serve it hot and fresh at Rockpool.
Yeah, here we are. Like I said, we're celebrating the night shift, with Avo AKA Ayush. He's really the music curator, the music programmer, the DJ, the music guy, as I call him. And, I really want to talk about all the various music-led initiatives that you've been a part of at W Goa. Another one that comes to my mind is the Sunset Tribe, yeah. And I know with summers coming in, Heatwave, Sunset Tribe, I think these are they fit in really well. What's Sunset Tribe all about? Is it again is the tribe all about DJs? Is it about musicians? What's the vibe there?
Okay, so now Sunset Tribe, how I came to this idea of having Sunset Tribe every Friday is that the most beautiful sundowners I've ever seen in my life was at Rockpool. Most of them, all of the rock sunsets which I remember in my memory is at Rockpool, and I wanted to just make sunset special by adding some dancers, some making it a grand event basically. So what we do is we follow this sunset, something called sunset rituals, where we just get together all the staff and all the guys who are working there and all the DJs and everything, and we do kind of a ceremony just to make it more interesting for our guests, and we also invite all our guests to join the ceremony. So it's just like a small sunset ritual which we do just to make it special for everyone.
Now, talking about rituals, the little birdie tells me that one ritual that you're really, really fond of is the ritual of eating good food. Yeah, I mean, and I think that's the Indori in you that kind of brings it out, because I know Indore, if it's known for X, Y, Z, A, B, C, it's known for food. Yeah, food lovers, and I mean, and really when you're walking down Sarafa, I mean, मतलब जो वहाँ पे खाना मिलता है, I can assure you, if you haven't been, that is the food street of the country actually. So tell me, what are the food things that you love?
Food is something which is a very, very important part of my life. Music, food, these are the two things which consist 90% of my life. So yeah, I mean, I'm always looking for some amazing new stuff. I keep trying new cuisines, and I cook myself also. I cook a lot of food. I love cooking Indian food as well, and I love feeding people. So yeah, that's just one side of my personality where I really also want to do something with food as well in my life, in the future. And yeah, and as you said, living in Indore, I have just eaten so much of chatpata food and all these chaat food, street food, that it just stays with me forever. It's going to be staying with me forever, no matter wherever I go, wherever I live in the world. Food has been a life-changing experience for me.
But which is your favorite? Which is your favorite food? Which is your favorite food item?
It's very difficult, but then right now, Goan fish thalis are something which just makes me smile and happy. I'm sure you must have also enjoyed that moment. It's just an emotion. It's an emotion, It's just not a plate of rice and fish and curry. It's an emotion.
It is.
So yeah, that's what I love about the Goan fish thalis.
So tell me a little more. I mean, what could I expect? I mean, yes, one is this beautiful relationship that you have with W Goa, but if you were to open your own cafe, and like you said, there's music and there's food.
Yeah.
Tell me a little more. If you were to do something combining the two, what would it be? Do you have some kind of a blueprint, or is it a hush-hush thing, or can you let in a little bit for all your fans and for everyone who's watching?
I mean, to be honest, I have not really planned anything as such, but I really want to own a food truck which has a big loud sound system attached to it, so that wherever I go, I can sell the food and make a party right there. So that's something which I'm trying to manifest in life. Maybe in my retirement plans, I'll have a big RV with some big sound system in it and a small kitchen area. And yeah, that's what makes it together: the food and music and my love of life.
And by the way, he's got a great voice too. So I mean, you don't need a loudspeaker. Yeah? You can just be on the top of the truck and you can kind of yell out the menu. That's for everyone to have. But another thing, and I'm sure all DJs are asked this question, but it is something which I think is the first thing that comes to mind, is this change of lifestyle, right? I mean, for you, I'm sure the day starts only around 3, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and then really you don't know when it's going to be ending, because even if you're tired, you're on such a high after a great performance, or if you're curating, you're there supporting the musicians, the team. How does life work for you right now in terms of morning to afternoon to evening to night?
I mean, yeah, that's a very good point you mentioned here. Because as a guest, you just see the happy side of being a DJ. That you are the hero. You're just playing your music and you're getting all dressed well, and all the girls shouting your name. You got that fan following, and you're just having fun. So that's what people see. But on the backside of it, it's kind of very difficult to cope up with this nightlife thing, because most of the time you are out there in the nights and your sleep schedule is completely upside down. When the world is working, you are sleeping, and when the world is partying, you are working. So that combination, kind of, you have to find the right balance, and you have to eat on time, basically not get away with all those glamour and the alcohol and the drugs and all whatever is around a party or nightlife scene. So yeah, I mean, that's what I do, is I just don't get carried away with all these stuff. I don't drink a lot. Just a couple of beers just to set the mood right before I get on the stage. And yeah, it gets sometimes get difficult. It gets depressing. But then at the end, once you are at the stage and once you see those smiling face when you play a track, it's just everything is balanced.
Okay, now
That's what we live for.
I need a confession. What happens when you're on stage, you're playing music, you're performing, and suddenly you need to go to the loo? What's the excuse that you make? What do you do then? Because you're there, right? I mean, it's on, and probably you have to kind of go up or down or walk a little distance, and you can't leave the place. And what is it? I need to know what is the inside story for most DJs, and especially for you. What happens then?
Okay, so I'll tell you an interesting story. Basically, what as a DJs, what we do is we sort our music according to the situations, right? So what we do is we have a folder called the bathroom folder. Okay, so what we do is whenever we know that okay, it's gonna take 15 minutes for us to go to the washroom because it's a crowded place. You got to battle yourself out the crowd and go to the washroom, then wait in the queue. Maybe bouncer help you out, get in early. But yeah, you don't know what's the time duration. So at least it's 15-20 minutes. So what we do is we open that life-saving bathroom folder. We play a 2 tracks mix, which is already mixed at home. It's pre-recorded. We just play that and we just disappear. I mean, we just disappear from there. And people, by the time they wonder where's the DJ, what's happening, we are back at the console. And we just get wave to it. So
wow, that's what get access to that bathroom folder. This is fantastic. My God, are you hilarious? I think these are the inside tricks or secrets of I know all professionals have it, depending on the profession they're in, and here's one that we have. So to tell me now, how much do you travel? Are you always you're in Goa, or does work make you travel to the other cities or other countries too?
Right now, I mean, not really. I'm most of the time based in Goa, again, because a lot of people from Goa travel to Goa and do gigs. And luckily I live here, so I don't get to travel that much because most of my shows are in Goa, and most of my work is based in Goa. But then, of course, I travel in the cities and in the country. And I recently got an opportunity to visit W Maldives as a guest music curator for them. Wow. I was there for a week, and it was a beautiful property. If you guys haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's amazing the way they have. It's basically on an island. If you want to cut off from the world and go into a paradise kind of feeling, that's the place to be. The water and the corals around that property is so beautiful, and you just you forget everything basically. And it was an amazing time I had there. I met a couple of cool people there as well. It's just like W Goa's team, W Maldives team is also amazing. They are really fun and like hardcore party people. That's what W always looks for in a person, in an employee. And yeah, it was great fun there. So I went there for a Diwali celebrations kind of thing. So yeah, it was amazing. And now up next, I'm probably traveling to some other W's around. And yeah, that's again a fun part about working with W, that you get to travel around the world with the same brand and with the same cool bunch of people.
Yeah, another word that starts with W, wonderful. Really wonderful interaction with you. And, he mentioned about paradise, W, Maldives. But I can tell you that in India, there's another paradise, which is W, Goa. When you walk in, just ask for Ayush. And, then at least your party is sorted. Yeah, your partying is sorted. Everything is taken care of. Super. So Ayush, tell me, what can we expect from you from W Goa for the next few months of summer?
Okay, so a lot of exciting news coming up for W Goa in terms of events and parties. We have a couple of things in loop, and probably by the next weekend, we will be announcing our April calendar and May as well. And yeah, just stay tuned on our Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. It's Ayush Avo. And you can follow W Goa on Instagram. It's W_Goa. And you can just keep checking our stories and get to know what's hot and what's new at W Goa. And yeah, stay tuned for updates. And really looking forward to have you all at the property and party hard with you guys. And you can just hit me up on Instagram for any kind of tips or regarding the DJing aspect or any place you want to go to in Goa. You can just give me a DM on Instagram, and I'll be happy to help you.
And tell me, what are the challenges you will face once the monsoon kicks in? I mean, that's when everything has to go indoors, right? Because it's a little unpredictable. Yeah. So how does the whole party scene switch itself in the monsoon?
Okay, so monsoon for us, it's kind of get a little slow, but then we, as the saying, what we follow is party never stops at W Goa, and we are really serious about that. So party will never stop at W Goa. We will have living room live going on. We will have a new kind of IP which I'm working on with some nice Indian underground DJs. So that will be activated. That's basically going to happen maybe in the Great Room, which is an enclosed ballroom, and we're going to have some nice hard-hitting music with some amazing international and national DJs. And so that's the monsoon plan right now. Again, the music at W Goa, we take it all seriously. So we will have something for you for sure. So you don't get disappointed that it's going to be monsoon and Rockpool is shut, so we won't have that party experience. No, that's not happening at W Goa. You're going to have parties all night long. No two ways about it.
Teaching me at least how to do the moves, if not becoming a DJ, is the music curator, is the music programmer. Ayush with us from W Goa. Thank you so much for being a part of the night shift. Thank you so much for being a part of 94.3 Radio 1.
Thank you so much for having me. And really fun interview. I would love to do it again for maybe a longer span.
Of course.
Discuss more about music and love for food. And yeah.
94.3 One World, your station. Radio 1.